If you are looking for some easy ways to start saving money this spring, I have you covered. But before we get into what we do to save money for the next season, I'm Julia, and I am one half of the Canny Couple. Erin's not here today, and we are a small homestead family in rural Virginia that work every single day to merge homesteading and frugality. And spring is officially here, although it might not feel like it for some of us. Or one day it feels like summer, and the next day it feels like we're back in winter. That's kind of our weather in Virginia. It fluctuates quite a bit. But this is also a really great time to start saving money, especially if you've had really high electric bills in the winter time. We know a lot of people in our area have had huge electric bills. 500, 800, 700. We actually just saw something on a post on one of the social media sites. Somebody had used, or their bill had showed over 7,000 kilowatt hours used, which I don't think was quite possible, but it was a crazy amount. I can't even imagine what that bill would actually look like. So this is really a great way to start saving, especially in this season. Spring is just a great season to save some money. So let's talk about what we do. And I will tell you, we've been using these strategies for years, and I've added to them, I've taken away, and we've really learned what works for us, and we're always looking for new ways to save money. So leave in the comments down below what you do to save money in spring, your best tip. I would love to hear it. And also, while you're doing that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. So the first thing is turn off your heat when you can. Don't just turn it up or wait for it to kick on and off. Turn it off. Turn it off. This helps so much on your electric bill, especially if you have something like a heat pump. I know they're considered to be more energy efficient. I will tell you, for us, they are not. It's not energy efficient. I feel like our electric bill is so much higher when we have to use this by hundreds of dollars when we have to turn on our heat pump, which pushes heat out, or goes to an air conditioning unit, which makes the house cooler. Turn it off. Use sweaters, use small heaters in small spaces to warm that area up. Open up your curtains to let the sun shine in, because that warm sunshine will help heat up your house as much as you can. I will tell you, like, our house might feel a little cool in the morning, but if it's going to be a really warm day, our house could be in the 70s by that evening before we go to bed, and it's still pretty warm when we get up in the morning. So we really focus on what does the weather look like. This is where our weekly calendar comes into play, because we actually look at what the week ahead is going to look like and kind of plan, are we going to have a fire today? Are we not? We can go days without actually having a fire if it's warm enough. And that really, really does help on our wood supply. But if you have an electric bill, that really can help you get that electric bill lower by not having to use those utilities. So all those things, use sweaters, use your jackets, you still have those things out. So make sure you utilize them and keep yourself warm. Number 2, get ready to switch your sheets of blankets. Now you're like, this is premature, Julia. It's still 30-some degrees at night. Yes, it is. But before too long, it's going to be much warmer. Your house is going to be warmer. It's going to get hot. I know for our area, we really don't have a big springtime. Sometimes we do, but sometimes it could go from 80 degrees to 20 degrees. So you need to start getting all that stuff ready and prepared. For us, we switch from flannels, which are very, very warm. Very warm. If you don't have flannel sheets, now's the time to go find them, to t-shirt sheets. T-shirt sheets are very thin and they're very comfortable. They're very soft. Also, your cooling blankets, we use those. They're kind of like a sweat wicking blanket that doesn't actually get you as hot in bed. It feels a little thicker. I'll also switch out my comforter at this point. I'm getting all my winter stuff ready to go into storage, get my summer stuff out, ready to go on the bed when I need it. And you can save money by drying these things outside, because it's going to be bulky, big items. So dry them outside. Best time of the year to do this, and that is the next one. Dry your clothes outside. I feel like people underestimate how much money using a dryer actually costs them. Because when we stopped using a dryer here, and this was when our electric bill was way cheaper, 9 years ago. It's been about 9 years since Erin's used a dryer. the electric bill, we saw an immediate savings in our electric usage. Your dryer uses so much more energy than you realize, and we have not used a dryer in 9 years, and I would never go back to using one. Yes, just some of your clothes feel a little bit stiffer. Yes, but you kind of get used to it. After 9 years of not having a dryer, it doesn't really matter to me at that point. And now's the best time. You got all the spring air is going to blow through, and your clothes won't feel as stiff or as hard, because that spring air just is like nature's dryer. It really is. It just does a wonderful job of getting your clothes dry, and you can save so much extra money doing that, especially your sheets, your blankets, all the things you're about to put away into storage. I always really try to use and focus on that. So plan out your laundry days. Make sure you're doing your laundry on days that it's pretty, especially your heavy bulky items, your blue jeans. Like right now I have overalls galore because Aaron's doing a lot of outside work and he loves his overalls. So I make sure those overalls can be hung up outside, and we can take care of that, and it doesn't, take up as much room in the house. And we don't have to use a dryer to get them dry. So number 4, and this is a little bit different. Move to cold breakfasts and lunches during your week. I know you're like, how's it going to save me money? Well, it's going to save you little pennies, little snippets of money, but pennies make dollars, and dollars lead to big savings. So this is the time of year I don't really put a lot of focus on warm lunches or warm breakfasts, because it's getting warmer outside, especially for lunch. Lunches tend to be sandwiches. I will change up a sandwich about every 3 to 4 weeks to something else, like rice and beans or mac and tomatoes, something, or even maybe something that could still be cold, like a pasta salad. And it just works out so well for us. And it's not as much stress on me because I can go ahead and get it made. It's not as much cooking as making 2 loaves of bread, or I could double up, make 4 loaves of bread, and have bread for the next week ready to go. So make those cold lunches, make your life a little bit easier. You don't have to heat it up in the microwave or on the stove, and it's just so much easier to plan out your week. And that is a really great tip. Have the same lunch, have the same breakfast throughout the week, change out your dinners. Once you have that repetitive meal, especially if it's a cheaper meal to make, you're going to see big savings at the grocery store, because you're also going to see big savings in your time, because you're not having to think about what are we going to have for breakfast, what are we going to have for lunch. It is just, takes such a load off of you. Lighter curtains. So this is twofold. We talked about opening your windows to bring in the heat. But lighter curtains like these here also bring in so much sunlight. And I will open up our heavier drapes here, which make my room a lot darker, and let the light just stream through the house. So I don't have to turn on lights. Again, I'm saving pennies. But pennies lead to big savings, and that's part of frugality for us. We look at little ways to cut our costs because we know those little ways do add up. So I open the windows, I let the sun shine through. Now I like the lighter curtains because they do reflect heat. So I have light curtains on almost every single window we have. They're white backed and they don't absorb the heat, they let the heat out. And then in the evening, Aaron will close these. So I do these in the windows, it's convenient. One of our bedroom windows, the windows in my dining room. And because of the way our house is set up and we have white walls, it just makes the house so much lighter and so much brighter. In my kitchen, I will clip those curtains up so more sunlight can come through, even though they're very thin. And it does help so much. It gives you so much more brightness and just so much more of everything. It really does help. So, number 6, inventory for the summer. This is really important. Make sure you're doing an inventory for what you need. Fans, AC units. I have an example here. So this is one of the things we really like to do. We really like to use these, especially at nighttime. This is a fan, and they do pull air in, and they also pull air out. It's a little window fan. And this is our cheaper version. We have one that's more expensive. Now, I will tell you, I don't like the exhaust on these. I don't feel like they do as well on exhaust, but buddy, at nighttime, when it's about 50 degrees, and it's going to be 80 or 90, you can get your house so much cooler by pulling that air into the house. And you have to watch your humidity levels and all of that, but that's where we have the little thermometers throughout the house that have the humidity readings on them. But these things here, I make sure they work. I make sure we don't need to make a replacement. I do an inventory. What do we need? Do my air conditioning units work? What maintenance needs to be done? For us, I need to go ahead and start scheduling a chimney sweep to come in for August, because getting on their schedule is hard, and I need to make sure I'm on their schedule for August, because around August it'll be 2 to 3 months before we actually need to run a fire or try to get on their books. So we need to get all of that done. Check your clothing, all of those things. Make sure you have the summer clothes you need. Make sure you have your springtime clothes you need, because right now is sort of the time of the year where you kind of need 2 wardrobes. You need a wardrobe for warm days, you need a wardrobe for cold days. Is this kind of how it is, at least in our area. I will tell you like 2 things I could tell you we need right now from inventory. We need 2 fans. I need another light socket fan to go in our hallway to help pull cool air through. Having fans on the ceiling has been a game changer for us. It pushes all the air through the house and keeps it so much cooler. But I also need another stand-up. I need a stand-up fan for our bedroom to help push the air through the house from when we have the air conditioning unit on. I can use a box fan and it works really well, but the box fan is a bit awkward. We have to set it on a chair to get it high enough, so we've decided we really want a stand-up fan, one that pulls very low wattages. So that's been kind of one of the things we've been focusing on. So make sure you're looking for those things, finding those things, taking inventory. What do you need? So you can have the cash ready, save up, or go looking for what you want. Number 7, gardening and seed starting. So this is not for everybody, but for me, this is really the time of year I get into this. I know this is all based on where you live, your zone and everything, but for me, this is kind of the area time whenever I'm starting everything. I've already started my seeds, and for a lot of little households, it is more economical to go buy it than it is to seed start. If you're only doing like 2 tomato plants. I do a lot more than 2. Because I like having a lot of canned tomatoes on hand. We cannot have enough canned tomatoes. So for me, I need to make sure I have a ton of tomato plants. And it's not economical for me to go buy 20 to 40 tomato plants. You're like, 20 to 40, Julia, that's way too many. Not for us. We really do eat that many canned tomatoes. If you've seen any of my cooking videos, you know we are canned tomato people. So I always have a lot of canned tomatoes, a lot of pepper plants, all of these things. So seed starting for me makes more sense than it does for a lot of other families, but also getting our garden ready. Basically, lettuce. If you like lettuce, growing your own lettuce is a great way to help save some money, because you can get a pack of lettuce seeds for nothing. You can just get the loose leaf lettuce and cut it, and it'll keep coming back over and over and over again. We do this all the time, and you can really save a lot of money that way. The next one is it's spring, so you might be outside more. When you go outside, turn everything off. Do not leave your TV on. Do not leave your lights on. Everything needs to be off when you're outside, especially if it's a beautiful day. It's time to get outside. You're moving around. You're going out. You're doing things. It's fun to be outside, and it's just a lot more warmer because we've been cooped up, because it's been cold, it's been wintry, it's been chilly, it's been rainy. I know for us it's been extremely cold, snowy, and being outside just feels good right now. Turn everything off. There's no reason to have anything on the house. Turn it off. Go outside, have your fun. Then when you come in, you can turn your things back on, but you saved a little bit of money while doing that. Now we're going out. We're going to yard sales. I know for us, yard sales are like crazy right now. Everybody has a community yard sale. It's like every weekend there's a community yard sale to go to. Big yard sales, like there's one we're going to. It's like over 20 houses. So it's the best time to go yard selling, the best time to go out there, find your deals and your party list, especially if you need things for summer. Great time to make your list of things that you need. Like, do you need shorts? Go to yard sales. Try to get them really cheap. If you live in a place where yard selling is cheap. Like sometimes you could find those yard sales where you feel like everything is like 33 cents. I actually found what was 25 cents. Everything you buy, it was like 4 things for $1. She was trying to get rid of it. And that was a great yard sale. We found a few items, and it actually turned out to be like 33 cents per item, but it was a really good yard sale for us. But then you have other yard sales where it could be more expensive. So know your prices, understand all of that. But definitely hit those yard sales, prioritize your list. Don't just buy things because they're cheap. Make sure you're looking at a list of things you need. That's why we take inventory, we do our maintenance. A part of that maintenance, make sure you're changing your filters. Great time to do that. And then the last thing is reflect. And this is something I feel like a lot of people forget to do. What went well during your winter season? How did you save money very well? What do you need to do to save more money? What can you do better? How can you make yourself more efficient? Make sure you're looking and reflecting back because you've got yard sales coming up. People are trying to offload all this winter stuff. They're trying to get rid of it. What can you get for really, really cheap that people want to get rid of? Do you need a new coat? Do you need other things? Like for us, one of the things we just talked about, we need a fan, another fan for our hallway to help push that heat down and help keep our house warmer in the back part of our house. It's a great option for us. So we always reflect back on the season before to see what do we need to do to be better. What went really, really well, especially before we start hitting all these big sales, these yard sales. Also after winter sales, like if you wait long enough, you can get stuff dirt cheap. Like they'll have it 70, 80, 90% off because they're just trying to get rid of it, trying to sell it. So make sure you have those lists by and have them ready to go. Because you could find things for $2, $3, $4 that would normally cost you $20, $30, $60. So just be on the lookout, have those lists ready, keep them on your phone. Just about everybody carries a phone. If you don't carry a phone, have a list in your wallet. But if you have a phone, make a winter checklist, make a spring checklist, make a summer, make a fall. That way you can just go through, or winter and spring, you have 2 of them, but have a checklist where you're going through and marking those items off. That's what I would do. So these are just a few items that we do every single season. They save us so much money. If I said 11, it should have been 10. I do apologize for that. But these are 10 things that we do every single season. They save us so much money. Not just the spring, but also throughout the year. And there's also some other things that we do. We'll show you some things, some updates we're going to be making to save us money for spring, and also that are going to save us some money for summertime. So look forward to showing you those. Again, leave in the comments down below what you do to save money this spring. And as always, check out our link tree where you see all of our other content. And thank you for joining us on the Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.